In one word, how would you describe James McDonald, the jockey?
Relentless.
You've won nearly 2,400 races already, 124 at Group 1 level, 9 Sydney Jockeys Premierships. You've been 3-time the world's best jockey. How can you improve?
If I'm as schooled up as possible, I don't think I can get beat on those horses. It's a 12-month process. You have to work very hard at it.
James McDonald, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
At 34 years of age, most jockeys are still approaching their peak. Can James McDonald improve as a rider?
Of course, we always can improve. Always trying to improve with preparation and etc. And obviously everything, the landscape's always changing, so you always have to adapt to it. And if you rest on your laurels, you're pretty much going backwards. So we always have to be moving forward and trying to adapt with certain circumstances that are arising during a year and during the decade that's probably been so successful over the last 10 years.
Naive question then, James, because given your record, I'll just summarise it very quickly. You've won nearly 2,400 races already, 9 Sydney Jockeys Premierships. You've been 3-time the world's best jockey. How can you improve?
You can always improve. Frankie Dettori, Ryan Moore, they've won 280 Group 1 winners, so we're well away from that, but we'll just keep striving to be the best version of ourselves and trying to get the best results for trainers and owners and the horses that we ride. But we've been blessed with the horses we've been able to form a relationship over the years, some absolute champions. So yeah, we're very lucky in that way.
Are those big records, those landmarks, is that what drives you?
I suppose records are there to be broken, I suppose, and there'll be someone there nipping at our heels as well in time. And Ollie was a phenomenal jockey and someone we all aspired to. So to be obviously chasing a record like Ollie's is just it's phenomenal, really. And to think how good he was over so many years, and now we're obviously trying to equal it to start with, and we're chasing it. It's still got a long way to go, but it's definitely a goal of ours, and hopefully we can achieve it. But obviously there's been some great jockeys before me, and there'll be some great ones after me that will be trying to pursue the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just keep chipping away and doing our best.
I know you've got a team behind you and your preparation is second to none, but you speak about the Damon Olivers. I know you have a good working relationship with Darren Beedman. Is there one or two of those former greats that you perhaps rely on quietly? If things aren't going well for you, you might give one a call and say, in a bit of a form slump, what do I do?
No, not necessarily. Probably Daz has been a huge help to me, especially in the Godolphin days, and now he's with Chris. It's he's a huge help, but whenever they speak, you listen basically, and if they have any advice to you, it doesn't matter how good you're going or how big you think you are in the game, you can always learn off those sort of guys, because they're tenfold in what they were. They'd probably school us now if they made a come out of retirement. But yeah, we've been very lucky with the people that we've been associated with. John O'Shea, who's I always gravitate to for advice.
Is he the person who first spotted you from Australia?
Yeah, without his support, God would probably be here. But he's always been a person that I hold in such high regard, in terms of I always leaned on him whenever I can, and he's always there for me.
He has great racing knowledge, John. You mentioned homesickness when you were only 15 or 16 when you first came over. Sydney's far different to what you grew up with in New Zealand.
Yeah, God, completely. Yeah. Bright lights, that's for sure, and especially coming from a dairy farm background, it's it's completely different to what we experience now. But yeah, definitely Sydney's home, and we unfortunately don't get many opportunities because of the busy schedule that we're entrenched in Sydney life and overseas ventures as well. We don't get home, and probably enough, to be fair, but hopefully there's plenty of time the back end of the career to pop around. Yeah, I do miss home always. Obviously, from a farming background, always miss that sort of lifestyle. But yeah, we're pretty busy here, so you don't really think about it too much.
You're much more relaxed these days, and obviously Sydney, as you said, is home, but you're always under pressure. You're always under constant scrutiny, but you never seem to change too much. You're very measured in how you go about things. How do you handle that scrutiny and that pressure?
I'm like a duck underwater. The legs are
you
going.
You can't see them.
And on top it's pretty calm. But no, it's tough for all sports people, I suppose. And, well, especially jockeys here in Sydney, it's pretty competitive. And everyone, and in Melbourne and Brisbane for that fact, but every ride's scrutinised. And look, we're in a fortunate position to be able to ride some brilliant racehorses, but that obviously comes with expectation and pressure as well from the owner and punters. And yeah, don't worry, they let you know if you get it wrong. But
and they do in Sydney. How do you handle that? Because they can be quite boisterous if you lose on a favourite or something. And
it comes with experience as well, I suppose. Even John would say probably back 10 years ago, probably there was a scenario there that we weren't handling it as well as what we should have, and you learn from that. And now I enjoy riding the horses of the stature of an Animo and a Via Sistina. That comes with huge expectations, and like a Romantic Warrior with his following, it's incredible, especially in Hong Kong. And but that comes with experience and trusting what you can do and preparing. Like I have failing to prepare is fail. So if I'm as schooled up as possible, I don't think I can get beat on those horses.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I want to talk about Hong Kong in a sec, but I want to stay in Sydney because it's generally regarded that Sydney has the most competitive jockeys room in Australian racing and one of the most competitive in the world. And some of your rivals are Tommy Berry's, Nashville Willer, Jason Collett, Tim Clark, Kerry McAvoy, still riding in terrific form. You've got some young guns coming through like Zach Lloyd, Dylan Gibbons. They keep you on your toes.
For sure, it's so competitive at the moment, and I think the younger ones have got plenty to say because they're obviously hugely talented jockeys, and they've got the world at their feet. Basically, they're so young as well. Without them pushing you, you probably plateau a little bit because you need someone always nipping at your heels to push you to be better, and that's what those guys are doing. They're doing a wonderful job. They're very competitive boys, and yeah, they'll definitely reach great heights, that's for sure.
Sydney Jockeys Premiership, I know you don't get any monetary awards for it, you just get a trophy and your name in the honour roll, but I know it's something you've told me previously, you really regard and respect that title, and since you've been back, you've won it 7 times in a row. Why is that?
Because I'm a racing purist, so to speak. I like classics, I like derbies and oakses, and I like things that are rich in history, you know, like and to follow the guys that have won it previously, like the Dittmans, the Shane Dyes, the
George Moore's record, 10 years.
100%, and Dazzler, and like they're the best we've ever seen, and to edge your name and part of that honour board is hugely respectful, and it's something that I'm extremely proud of what I've set out to be. But also, it's a good recognition of your consistency throughout a year. It's all well and good turning up for the Autumn Glows, the Via Sistinas, the Worlds, and winning on them, but it's a 12-month process, and you have to work very hard at it. So, and it's something I enjoy chasing.
You do a lot of travelling on the global stage, and the last few years, yourself and Ryan Moore have basically swapped, winning the World Best Jockey title. Is Ryan Moore your biggest competitor on the global stage?
I have so much respect for Ryan, incredible jockey, but yeah, he's as good a jockey as you'll ever see in your life. Incredibly
what
professional.
What makes him so good?
He's tactically just impeccable in the race. He's as strong as I've ever seen a jockey, and that's the same with Christos Soumillon. I've been lucky enough to be riding with him over the last few years on the international stage, and he's another one that's just tactically so savvy and just a relentless competitor. There's a fine line between crossing competitive, being very competitive and being a little bit careless, but those guys, they just know it's down to a T, and their records speak for themselves. But Ryan's just his racing knowledge is incredible as well, and he's always, we've become very good friends over the years, and he's always a good one to listen to for sure, because he knows it inside out, you know.
We're talking really about improvement. Are they the sort of guys that you can look at when they're riding or when you're talking to them and pick up little things that can improve you as a jockey?
Yeah, for sure. Especially riding on tracks and other competitors that you don't really are fond of, because it's when you're stuck in a little bubble or a Sydney racing, you know all the jockeys inside out. So, but when you start gravitating overseas to Saudi, Dubai, to Hong Kong, to Europe, everyone's got different styles. It's so hard you just can't adapt like that. So you need to obviously do your research, to do your homework, and lean on advice throughout. And those guys are always good to lean on, that's for sure, because I think Ryan's close to 300 Group 1 winners, and he's ridden everywhere around the world, and he's so good. But it's always enjoyable getting out of your comfort zone and testing yourself against against those sort of people.
Ryan Moore's an interesting character because he's not overly effusive with the media, but people who know him say he's, and you just mentioned, a great friend of yours. So when there's no cameras and there's particularly no media around, what's Ryan Moore really like?
Oh, he's phenomenal. Like, yeah, obviously there is that facade of the camera where he doesn't give a lot, but that's just him. But one-on-one, or when he's in the jockey's room, he's completely different, and he knows his stuff. He's just a really good bloke to talk to, and I enjoy his company. Right,
can we clear this up once and for all? James McDonald, Hong Kong, will he ever move there permanently?
You never know. Hong Kong's a phenomenal place. I love the lifestyle and I love the racing up there. And obviously I've had a lot of luck. It's been a happy hunting ground, and the racing is really, really good. It is very competitive because of the handicapping system. And one place about Hong Kong, it does improve your riding.
In what way?
Oh, it sharpens you up. Here you can ride a maidener at, say, Warwick Farm, and the maidener will have lengths on the field, so you can ride it accordingly. Over there, it's not the case. You know, the handicap system, obviously, once they get up to class 3 and 4, and you have to ride.
There's no margin for error.
There is no margin.
Because there's so little between the horses,
That's why the respectful Zach Purton is incredible, because he is such a tactician, and he knows the landscape so well. An incredible jockey that's, again, relentless, ruthless in his pursuit for being perfect, and he rides Hong Kong incredibly well, and I don't even need to say that because of his record, but he's got it down pat. But he's you have to give your horse the best possible run in the race, otherwise you just don't win.
It's interesting, because I was going to ask, because in Australian racing we're renowned for how tight our jockeys ride, but is it more difficult to ride in Hong Kong?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Speed maps don't mean anything. It's more about barrier draws. So here they obviously fall into their positions pretty quickly, especially in the bigger races and good horses, because they have a set racing style. Up there, one could draw 13 3 times and go back, and then all of a sudden it draws 6, and it's running fourth. So you never know what's happening, and obviously the jockeys you got jockeys from all over the world, and they all have their different racing styles, and you throw that into the melting pot, and you come up with all sorts of different scenarios that you don't expect. And here you can obviously adjust pretty quickly here, because you sort of know what's going to happen. But it sharpens you up. Yeah,
because right now you have, dare I say, the best of both worlds. You can stay in Sydney, which you call home. You've got a beautiful home here in the eastern suburbs. Pick of the rides in Sydney, but you can go to Hong Kong for the big days, and you can ride the champs like Romantic, Warrior, etc. Can you continue to juggle those for the immediate future?
I'll juggle it as long as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it's hard. But
Travelling wear you down, wouldn't it?
Travelling does, but again, over the several years that I've been doing it, I've tweaked a few things and experimented with a few things, and I'm getting better and better at it. And it might be something so simple like taking your own pillow on the plane, a bit more comfortable, and because rest is the most important thing that we can get. But look, a couple of days after you're a bit jaded, I suppose it'd be like having a horse having a race. You know, you're just a bit fatigued afterwards, but you bounce through it. Hydration and the diets, nutrition is a huge thing for us, and obviously managing the weight scenario as well. I don't ride too light up there when I go, or if I'm travelling. So yeah, it's just managing certain things that can help you prepare best you can. Yeah.
You don't ride very often below about 55.
That's my
okay.
That's my comfortable.
And I know over the years, we talked about preparation, you mentioned that earlier, and you do prepare second to none, but not in some of the traditional areas. Like, you don't spend hours in the gym, you do a lot of yoga and Pilates and things like that, and that's something that you've evolved your training regimen to suit your body, your workload, etc.
Yeah, I have. When you're young, when I was 20, like, I could do anything and just turn up.
Wouldn't bother you.
Yeah. But now it's a lot to do. It's preparation now, I suppose. But yeah, I've incorporated different things all the time, and my dietitian works closely with us, and obviously our fitness trainers. But it's just managing how you're coping at the time as well. And
is Pilates sort of more about flexibility, and is yoga sort of more about, I don't know, a mindset? Or
yeah, I do the Bikram yoga, and so that's a bit of a way where I can have a bit of a sweat as well, and so I'm basically knocking over killing two birds with one stone, basically. Doing a lot of the Pilates, which has been pretty helpful. Obviously on a Sunday and Monday you're pretty stiff and sore from wasting down a little bit, but I'm finding that works quite well as well.
One final question on this Sydney-Hong Kong thing. Does the scrutiny and the media chatter about it, does that ever bother you?
Not really. I suppose the same question keeps getting asked, but there will be a time where the music stops here, and there'll be a time for a new challenge. Obviously, I'm under no illusions that's what happened. It happens with everyone. But at the time, love Sydney, love our competitors, and how we're going in Sydney, and the horses that we're riding. Obviously, with working closely with Chris and his team, it's really nice.
I'll get to Chris and your success with him shortly, but behind us is a magnificent. This is Romantic Warrior, magnificent painting. And who painted this for you?
Nicole Slater, actually. She.
That's Billy Slater's wife.
Billy Slater's wife, but she's unbelievably good at it. And we went down to her studio down in Melbourne, and no expenses spared. It looks a phenomenal room where it's a massive gallery, and she did that for us. So what we did, we gave her a picture of Romantic in Dubai.
You can see Romantic in that painting?
Oh, that is a splitting image of him, his eye, his nostril, just his ears. And if I put up the photo that I sent Nicole to paint, it would be like splitting image. It's him winning in Dubai, and it's a little testament to him, and he deserves his
he's got
pride and place here, that's for sure.
And no wonder, because you've won more races on him than any other horse in your career, 14. 10 of those that are at Group 1 level, and he's won around the world for you, including a Cox Plate in Australia. Yeah. Without being unfair on the other champions you've ridden many, is Romantic Warrior the best?
Yeah, he is by far and away. I think he's just so special, you know.
What makes him so good?
Sometimes I don't even know. He's like a dead set robot, but he's just very, very good horse.
You can do anything in a race, and by that I mean there was one race in Hong Kong recently when you were trapped 3 wide and your rival jockeys were not going to let you in, and you realised that, and coming into the first turn you said, okay, get up outside leader, and then immediately he came back underneath you.
adaptability is huge, isn't it? He's the smartest horse I've ever had anything to do with. Because in Hong Kong, when the gates are about to open, the starter has a flashing light before the gates open. Dead set, I think he looks at them and
he switches on.
He knows when the gates are opening, and he just comes out like a Oakley plater and puts himself in a position, sleeps, and then when I ask him, he goes again. But he's so durable. I think he's 8 years old now. He's had surgery.
Yeah.
He's going better than you could ever imagine. He should have won in Dubai. He got beat here. And Dead said it almost was a dead heat.
It looked like you won. Yeah. So
it looked like one, yeah. And then in Saudi, he's been run down by the best dirt horse in the world. And
does that still hurt, Saudi?
It will always hurt that. But it's something that I really enjoyed learning from and experienced. That's type of racing as well. But obviously, when you run second, it's the worst thing ever. But at the time,
tough question for you, because that ride did get a lot of criticism, and I sort of think back to Miracle Mel Johnson on Kingston Town, the AU2 Cup, and I've gone back and watched replays of your rides on Romantic Warrior. You didn't do much different to what you've done so many times. So does that criticism sting a little?
Yeah, the difference was a different surface.
Yeah,
so
that's the key.
Correct. So I basically rode the race like a turf race, where obviously he was going to get a bit tired quicker because of the
dirt,
deep sand or the deep dirt. So that was a learning curve, and the criticism's justified. I got beat. I'll cop it, but that's fine. It's racing. It's part of it. If it was that easy, we'd just all know the results. But it was a great learning curve. And it was my highlight of my year, apart from running second, but the experience was fantastic, and I was so proud of him because he would die on a sword, that horse.
Never runs a bad race.
Never runs a bad race, and I still go through his form, even to this day, and he should be 27 from 27.
Almost unbeaten or unbeaten.
He should be unbeaten.
Yeah. Because the day in the Turnbull, he wasn't wound up, was it?
That was where he would have got beaten any day of the week. He got beat 3 lengths. So 26 from 27 or something like that. But every other race, when he's been beaten, he's had a genuine excuse.
Yeah. That Turnbull was interesting because a lot of people dropped off and thought, well, he hasn't travelled. He was beaten fair and square. He was disappointing. But you stuck by it. You had a lot of faith in that horse, even way back when, going into the Cox Plate of 2023. Why did you think he could bounce back?
Oh, he just had so much improvement, but he's a champion. People don't realise how good this horse is, and if he was right, even Cox Plate Day, it would be times the margins. If he brought his Hong Kong Cup form to the Cox Plate, there's no contest.
Yeah, a bit like Talia Rising in the Everest, I suppose.
Basically every time.
Yeah.
But he was so underdone. There was obviously, it's well documented that he missed the trial, and there was a typhoon, and he was so underdone it wasn't funny. It was, it was just incredible.
Was Danny Shum worried when he got
He was.
Yeah.
He was overseas worrying, yeah.
You had to do a lot of talking, I suppose.
But he's such a champion racehorse, and they can do things that others can't. I've never met a man work harder. You hang on every word he says, and he knows his horses inside out. There's huge expectations with every horse that we ride, and you put yourself into it. And I enjoy riding horses that the eyeballs are on.